Excuse me. Sorry for being late. Alright. How do you do? I'm Dr. McNasty. I'll be your substitute teacher for, I guess, what fucking class is this? History 101. Oh, we're in for a doozy. Oh, we are in for a doozy. Like I said, welcome to History 101. Unfortunately, the state deemed me more than capable to teach this class, and unfortunately for you guys and myself, we both have to be here.
Who the fuck are you, old man? What happened to that crusty old turd, Mr. Arnold? Is his stress-induced IBS acting up again? Ha!
How fucking old are you, kid?
I'm 18, bro. What's it fucking to ya?
3 months, Junior. 3 months. Because you're 18 now, and that's only a simple assault. And while you're slowly nourishing the brutality that is your wounds, I'll be getting out and heading back into class to finish my other court-appointed duties. But if you interrupt me one more fucking time, I'll make sure that will become your reality. Capisce-Rooney? Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by Captain Jewelpod over here, I'm forced to be here, but I'm also way past deadline, so I'm going to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to teach you assholes, and in return, I'm also going to film my video. Is that okay with you guys?
Mr. McNasty, isn't that unethical? To put our education at risk for a stupid YouTube video deadline?
Well, let me put it this way. We can either A, sit through the actual school curriculum, which involves you actually intaking in knowledge, or B, we can do what I want to do and watch some cool clips and learn about some old video games. So, let's put it to a vote. Who wants to learn about Gettysburg? Okay. No hands, I see. Alright, now who wants to do my thingy? That's what I thought. So let's talk about some bootleg games. Well, most of you probably are new to the concept of what a bootleg game is, but a bootleg game is pretty much a mock game made by a manufacturer that poses as a full license title game. Or sometimes it's just a fan-made ROM hack that some incel on the internet made to entertain his friends. Which, 9 times out of 10, it's the latter. But before I go over what, certain titles are, let's talk about the history of bootleg games.
A brief history of bootleg games. As long as people have been playing video games, there has been a need to bootleg them. Well, shucks, what is bootlegging, you might ask? You, meaning a young, stupid student who is a slave to the public school system. Webster's dictionary defines it as the illegal manufacture, distribution, or sale of goods, especially alcohol or recordings. Isn't that some scary stuff? By the looks of your blank faces, you are probably asking yourself how the HE double hockey sticks do they bootleg such technologies? We'll get to that, you little shit. Bootleg games, sometimes called bootlegs for short, and mistakenly called pirated games, are unlicensed games that are sold on the market, generally using unauthorized content. These can generally be unauthorized ports of existing games without the original game's publisher's permission. An unauthorized hack of an existing game or an original game that acts as it's related to an official franchise or heavily borrows content from an existing game. Bootleg games are generally sold in areas where publishers and console manufacturers don't have any control over what games get published for their system. They can generally pass themselves off as an official game or a port of one, a sequel to an existing franchise, or an adaptation of an existing franchise. Most of the time, bootleg games usually don't contain any mention of the original developer's publishers. Similar to licensed games being pirated, other companies may take an existing bootleg game and either re-release it or hack it into another game. Bootleg game carts are generally distributed similarly to pirated game carts, and it may be hard to differentiate them apart, unless the title matches a known bootleg game, although bootleg carts can sometimes come in boxes or cases like any other game. However, not all unlicensed games are considered bootlegs. An example would be Menace Beach by Color Dreams. While not licensed by Nintendo, it doesn't necessarily infringe on trademarks or copyrights. Tengen's NES port of Fantasy Zone isn't a bootleg game either. While being a port of Fantasy Zone and was not licensed by Nintendo, Sega has given Tengen consent to make a port and publish it. Another example is Coco Adventure by OpenCorp. Despite using graphics from Super Mario World and a sound engine taken from Konami's Tiny Toon Adventures, the game itself does not try to pass itself off as either game, and it does not attempt to completely copy either game's gameplay as well. However, Zamina's Superboy 4 can be considered a bootleg game, as it completely copies the graphics and gameplay from Super Mario World, despite the name and players' sprites acting as if it was an original game. Now, I will leave you, moronic, modern American teenagers, with this simple knowledge, so that you too can travel the world of bootleg games.
Well, wasn't that exciting and educational?
Mr. McNasty, I have a few questions.
What now?
For starters, the video was clearly mistitled. The context of that video only focused on the what of bootlegging and not the historical why. Secondly, how was that video made in 1955 when it clearly shows video game consoles from the mid-80s? And finally, how did we all see that video when there's no fucking projector or TV?
Good question, but, Oh, look, it's Grammy Award-winning artist Chanel West Coast. What are you doing here?
Hi, I'm totally Chanel West Coast. Let's talk about some awful bootleg games. Join Axel Foley as he makes his long-awaited return in this thrilling all-new action-adventure based on the Beverly Hills Cop movie from Paramount Pictures. Have you got what it takes to survive on the mean streets of Los Angeles? That's what I would say if the game was any fucking good. That's right, we're bringing up Beverly Hills Cops, the game, for the PS2. Not only was this game pure garbage, it was released almost 2 fucking decades after the films for the PS2, oddly enough. That's not the strangest part. Eddie Murphy's likeness was not licensed for the game. Axel Foley is instead played by a generic bald white guy with no mustache and an incorrect Letterman jacket, which sported the Detroit Lions logo. Even the main title theme is a pale imitation of Harold Faltermeyer's famous Axel F theme. These strange watered-down qualities, as well as mediocre gameplay and graphics, lead to heavy criticism from fans and critics. Mostly it was the gameplay that solidified the failure of the game in general. If you really hate yourself and what to play, pretty much a retro bootleg game, have at it. It's probably free on the internet. Pirate it. Kids, if you like broken and trash games, check them out.
Chanel, you can't tell the kids to do shit that's illegal. That's kinda not cool.
Shut up, I'm drunk, Derek.
My name's Doc, and I gotta drive you home later, you drunk bitch.
I don't care.
Alright, on to the next bootleg game.
Mr. McNasty, I have some questions.
God damn it, what now?
Won't be long, I promise. First off, how did she sneak into a school post-Sandy Hook? Secondly, how did we once again see that game footage, despite not having any way to display in said classroom? Lastly, you never told us what happened to Mr. Arnold. Ouch! Did you throw something at me, Miss Chanel?
What about it, bitch?
Oh, thank God the bell finally rang. I was so getting tired of this. But if you liked the little small sample we had for today's class and want to catch it next week, it will be available, hopefully if we make the deadline. But you kids don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to the viewers, not you little shits. But hey, talking to the viewers again. If you want to help support us, all you have to do is like and subscribe and throw us a comment. Tell us what you thought about today's episode. On that note, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, and you guys have a good one. Hey, Docbot, the show's over. Say bye.
Hey, bye, YouTube. Love you.
Being drunk in a school setting. What the fuck you have to say for yourself?
I'm sorry. I thought I could hold my liquor, Dave.
I agree. You're a sorry piece of shit. And for the last time, my name's Doc, not Dave. So let's get the fuck out of here.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
This is DJ Charles coming at you with the hits. We only have one sound on the station and it's Great Fishing.